to live chat. A little bit of technical difficulties this morning, but we've worked it out, I believe. I think we're good. Hello, my friends. So today, I actually found all of this on the Twitters, and there's a little bit of drama happening with ColourPop, and we talked about it a little bit in What's Up in Makeup this morning, but I wanted to go into a little more detail because this, I feel like, is something that has come up over and over again in the beauty space about breaking embargo, about, meaning that when people put information out there about product launches before they're actually launched, when people accuse other people of copying them, of designs, and I just find all of this very fascinating. So I wanted to go into it and kind of use this as an example of what's really been happening for a while. And it's interesting, there's definitely a debate to be had about all of these things, and that's why I want to talk about it in chat, because if I just spout my idea, it's not as cool as if I get everybody else's ideas. So before we do that, I just want to very quickly say good morning and thank you all so much for joining chat live. So good morning to the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, also known as the people that are here alive. Hello to Samantha and Casey and Amber. Casey says, hello everyone, missed chat. I missed chat too. We did not have a chat last week because of New Year's? No, we didn't have a chat last week because of Christmas. Time is just going by already. Good morning, Sorojan and Jita and Annette and Evie, Katie Love and Teresa M.O. And thank you so much to all of the moderators for being here and helping us have a nice, happy, safe chat. Shannon, good morning to you. Anyone else refreshing the screen like crazy? Sorry about that. I was about 4 minutes late. Technical difficulties. And I also had difficulties with this look today. So we'll talk about that when we get to the midpoint and we talk about what I used today. Nothing was working today. But okay, so let's see. Good morning in Australia. Is it an evening in Australia right now? And that is Alicia. Good morning to you, or evening, whatever it may be. All right, so let's talk about what happens. All right. What happened is the first step in this was that Trendmood posted this photo to her Instagram. There it is, and captioned it about, it looks like ColourPop is going to be collabing with Animal Crossing. And there was a post by ColourPop back in April that kind of hinted that they might be doing something with Animal Crossing, but nothing was solid. This was kind of the first look at it. So that's the first piece I want to talk about, is when someone like Trendmood or Hotfire Makeup or whatever on Instagram posts something before they're supposed to. And I've seen this happen where the brand freaks out. Remember when ABH had like 9 of their launches? I'm exaggerating. Like so many of their launches have been leaked that way. I definitely respect Trendmood for pulling the post down, but by the time you put it up, it's like done. So do pages like that have a responsibility if they feel like something is leaked, if they feel like something is, maybe not supposed to be out? Do they have a responsibility to check with the brand first if they have a relationship with the brand? That's my first question for you. Me personally, I feel like that would probably be the nice thing to do, but that's not how you grow a platform. If you are looking to grow your platform, if you are the first person to get information out there, if you are good at getting all that information out there, that is how the platform grows. And I really do believe that's how Trendmood really has done so well, is that she is able to somehow get all of these new releases before everybody else, whether it's somebody breaking embargo, whether it is, the brand leaking things to her and she puts them out like, like we will never truly know. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that this was something that ColourPop didn't want out there. Was it her responsibility to reach out to ColourPop and say, hey, I got this, is it okay for me to show it? All right, Jen Unbox says responsibility? No, but it seems like it's a good thing to do and better for long-term relationship with the brand. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we actually had that problem in What's Up in Makeup a while back where we were sent a photo of something from Clinique, and it was a collaboration with somebody, and we put it in the Makeup Minute back when we did the Makeup Minute. And Clinique contacted us within a couple of hours and was like, because it was like the top story in the Makeup Minute, and they contacted us within a couple of hours and they were like, hey, can you pull this down? Like, this isn't supposed to be up yet. So we pulled it down immediately, and it re-uploaded the Makeup Minute without that in there. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's such a weird thing, because it's like, how first of all, how do you know? I think once you do this for a while, you kind of know. And I think that we kind of knew it might be something wasn't supposed to be out there. We were just really excited about it. And honestly, it was like, you know, I don't know. Like, it was definitely not done in good faith, I don't think. You know. Marie says, what is Trendmood? Go ahead over to Instagram and check out, if you do not know, Sophie's channels, Trendmood1. She posts sneaks of makeup stuff. She's kind of the top dog when it comes to makeup sneak peeks and things. So she is, I don't know how many people she has on her team, but they are able to get a lot up. So Felicia says, Trendmood has a habit of posting things before the creator or brand does, and has a lot of backlash in the past for doing it. And I think that, you know, where it comes down to is, and where I regret posting that Clinique post, because I think we did kind of know, and we did it anyway, and I don't think that that was a very kind thing to do. So in hindsight, I wouldn't have posted it. I would have reached out to Clinique and asked them. You know, you do things sometimes and you look back and go, you know what, that was a little cruddy. And that's kind of the way I feel about that. You know, when a company or a person works really hard on something and they're so excited to release all of maybe the media that they've created, maybe they've made videos, maybe they've made, you know, like really cool, high quality photos, and they're so excited to put this out and put the teasers out, like Elf did. If you saw in What's Up in Makeup this morning, I don't know if you had a chance to watch it yet, but the Elf mint collection, mint chocolate collection, the way they sneaked that was really cute. First they showed like, it was like a swirly makeup being made. It was like a mint color. And then they showed someone eating a mint chocolate chip ice cream cone, and then they released the images of the products. And I just thought that was just a really cute way to launch it. But now that's kind of ruined for ColourPop when it comes to the Animal Crossing collection, because Sophie posted it. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where you just have to decide what's more important. Is your audience more important, or is respecting the brand and their hard work more important? I think that's what it comes down to. Danielle says that has to be devastating for some brands to work so hard on a project and not being able to announce it yourself. Absolutely. We're painting unicorns. It's funny, as beta testers are getting fined for breaking of contract with the wait, I don't know this at all. Miho Yo game Genshin Impact. If these brands do start to to fine leakers with $14,000 bills, it'll stop. Yeah, I don't know anything about the topic that you're talking about. I don't know anything about games. But yeah, I guess that's, yeah. I mean, I think that if the question is where did this image come from that Sophie got? Where did it come from? Like, who gave it to her? Were the products sent to her ahead of time? Or did someone that works for ColourPop sneak them and take a photo of them and send it over to Sophie? Like, what happened? What happened? So if Sophie's not under contract with the brand to not leak something, is it illegal? I don't know. I don't think it is, but I don't know. I don't know if that's illegal or not. I don't know. I would imagine it's not, or else she would already been sued. Yeah, Ruby says, just got in. If I understand correctly, Trendmood posted another ColourPop collection too soon again. Yes, that's what happened. That's what happened. Stacy says, yes, there's so much planning in the background. Basically, you're stealing someone's thunder. It's wrong. Totally, totally. Yeah, but I kind of see Sophie's point of view. Let me play devil's advocate on the other side. It's just, that's how she became Trendmood, is by getting this stuff out there before everybody else. That's why everybody follows her, because she has the tea. So she wouldn't be Sophie and getting all of this stuff, you know, to post and getting all these relationships with brands and having the Trendmood box and she wouldn't be this person if she didn't do those things that some people see as morally questionable. So did she do the right thing? She's had success because of it. So does that make it the right thing? Because she's had success because of doing these things? You have to decide where your moral compass lies. There's a reason why in What's Up in Makeup we don't do that for the most part. We don't, like, we've gotten things ahead of time. Like, I've gotten a lot of sneaks ahead of time, but the brand has specifically said don't release it. So I don't know where she lies. Like, if she gets something early and a brand says don't post it, I would imagine she probably doesn't post it. But if she gets it from another source, it's like, hey, I just got this information. I don't know. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. But I kind of see, the growth side of it. You just have to compromise that moral. Oh, Steph says she credits who sent it to her in the post, but the post was deleted. I don't think I have a screenshot of the original post. Interesting. She does, you know what? Now that you mention it, Steph, thank you so much for that. She does usually credit who sent her the post. Interesting. Yeah, Noodles, did Trendmood take it down? I don't see it anymore. Yes, she did take it down. I would imagine at the request of ColourPop, but again, I don't know. Kelly said, this is a good point too. Kelly says, can it also create more hype by leaking? Would it be spending all this time talking about it if it wasn't taken down? That's a really good point, Kelly. It's a great point. And there's also been speculation that people sometimes purposely, or brands sometimes will purposely send things to Sophie so that she'll post it ahead of time and get all the hype up about it. I don't know. That's my dog. She's choking on something. Are you okay, baby? John's with her. She's chewing on her toy. There must have been like some dust on it or something. Got a little piece of fuzz from her toy. He's patting her on the back like a baby. All right. Afra says, the duality of society, so many things that are considered bad are most popular, like tabloids. We say how horrible, yet people still buy them. Exactly. Exactly, Afra. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Totally. Yeah, so that was the first part of what I wanted to talk about. This is the second part. So this is, okay, I heard about this on Twitter, and I actually ended up hopping over to Reddit and getting the pictures for it. So this is someone named Doodles the Bunny. And she posted these back on April 13th, and that was right around the time that ColourPop had posted their it was like a photo of, who loves Animal Crossing or something like that. So this was developed shortly after that. If you have not checked out her page, by the way, let's just hold on a second. We just have to look at this real quick. This is, like, if I was designing palettes, I would probably hire her. She's really good at it. Oh my gosh, if you are not following her on Instagram, like, some of these concepts are so cool. Like, she's got, okay, hold on a second. Where was it? It's hard to scroll on my software here. This one right here. Oh, it won't let me click on it because I'm not logged in. But I would buy these. Like this one right here, the Naked Greed palette, I would buy that. Like, that's cool looking. I would buy that. Like, she did all of the Deadly Sins. They're so cool. Like, start on Valentine's Day with Naked Lust and then just keep going. Look at the Jetsons palette. I mean, I could scroll through this. I just found this morning. Oh, come on. All right, fine. I'll go away. Fine. Instagram, fine. Okay, so anyway. So she posted this back in April. This is the full image. And then this is the other mock-up that she did. They're all mock-ups. Oop, did it go? Yeah, it did. Okay. Super cute. And I did read that she was saying that ColourPop stole her idea, but I did not see that with my own two eyes. So this is them next to each other. Honestly, this is kind of the way I feel about it. Hold on. Let's before I say what I feel about it, let's just take an honest look. So there's the other image. Is it a copy? That's the question. Did they copy her idea? In order to make ColourPop an Animal Crossing, you would have to have the ColourPop logo, you would have to have the Animal Crossing logo, and Animal Crossing characters. I feel like there's only so many ways you can do that. Like, And also that she didn't create the artwork. She just took the artwork from somebody else and is, growing an Instagram following off of somebody else's artwork. There's a case there that, she's using someone else's idea to further her own aspirations or whatever you want to call it. I don't think she's got a case there. That's me personally. I think that's kind of silly, but I get where, when you're an artist and you work really hard to create something, I mean, she's incredibly talented. Her concepts are just really oh my gosh, just amazing. So I get where the frustration would come, but I don't think that there's any kind of case there. Let's see what you all have to say. Nicole says, I don't think they actually copied her because the Animal Crossing AC color schemes are very specific and the artwork is definitely AC/Nintendo ones. Totally. Darky Doom says, pretty hard not to use the same color scheme for an existing game. Absolutely. Spoiled Artist, you would have to see the colors to see if they copied. Yeah, to see I don't think that she made conceptual art for the inside. I think she just did those, oh no, she did. Yeah, she did. There is for the inside. I think that there might be maybe more of a case if they took the inside, but we don't know what the inside looks like yet. That hasn't been leaked yet. But I don't know. I mean, even then, you can't copyright colors, in my opinion. Steph says, but that's like the theme. There's merch with that same leaf pattern and stuff. They're probably tied with Nintendo on how they use their characters. Absolutely. Totally. Shirley says it would definitely be a tough case, my friend. Yes, it would be, my friend. It would be a tough case. Nikki, I mean, it's what ColourPop does. They provide cheaper alternative to trending products that are super expensive with great quality. Yeah, I mean, there's so many brands that do that. I mean, Makeup Revolution does that. They had that Bad Habit brand. The C Color Cosmetics. There's a lot of those kinds of things. Terry says, what the heck is Animal Crossing? I don't know much about Animal Crossing. I'm kind of with you, Terry. I've never played it. I'm scared to play it. I see too many people like Shay from That Girl Shay XO. She plays it all the time. And I think that Nicole Concilio was playing it for a while before she got so into Among Us. I see them just talking about how addicted they are to it. And I don't want to invest my time in that. I have enough trouble with this stupid thing and the stupid games I play on this. Right now, I'm playing Harry Potter puzzles. I know Harry Potter. I know J.K. Rowling. I know. I get it. But yeah, I do play Harry Potter puzzles. I started playing it the other day. So yeah, I haven't spent any money on it though. I'm not spending any money on it. And there's hardly any ads. So that's how I justify it. And it's fun. But, but anyway, back to the what you call it? Animal Crossing. I don't know. I don't know anything about Animal Crossing. Let's see. Leanne says, hard to claim originality when you didn't create the art in the first place. I totally agree. Totally agree. Kimberly, I was just having this conversation with my husband last night. We were discussing that in college, they don't really teach creative majors how to protect their work and copyrights. Okay, very interesting. Thank you for that insight. I don't know much about that. Darky Doom says, you say you can't copyright a color, but someone has copyrighted the exclusive use of Vanity Black in their art. What a see you next Tuesday? I don't know what that means. I know what see you next Tuesday means, but I don't know about the copyright of the use of Vanity Black in their art. I don't know about that. Oh, okay. Luna says you can copyright colors. That's what Cadbury did against Daryl Lee. Cadbury won the court case and Daryl Lee had to change the brand color to blue. Interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for teaching me. And I would imagine Tiffany Blue is probably copyrighted to some extent. So I apologize. I did not know. Okay. Felicia says people also believe that ColourPop copied the concept for the Baby Yoda collection. Interesting. Interesting. Michaela wants to know if I still play Merge Dragons. No, I abandoned it. I got bored and I abandoned it. Jacob says, we need Emily D. Baker on the case. I know. Where's Emily when we need her? Jessica says, while you're playing, turn airplane mode on to avoid as many ads as possible. Ooh, that's so smart. I should do that. I should do that. The reason why I like that game is that they've included a community aspect to it. You join a team and you all work toward you're all strangers on the internet, but you all work toward goals together, and it just adds a different layer to it. All right. Okay. Maja says Vanta Black wasn't copyrighted. I don't know anything about this stuff. Amish Kapoor, I think that's how it's written, made a deal with people who produce this material. I have no idea, but I want to make sure I have the right information out there because I don't know anything about this stuff. But yeah, so endgame on that for me is that I don't think. Okay, for both topics. So for the Trendmood one, endgame on that is that I feel like it's really up to your own moral compass whether you feel like posting something before a brand has wanted it to be posted is morally okay or not. And if people don't think it's morally okay, they should stop following Trendmood because she does it often. I don't think the majority of people will find issue with it because they want the tea. And I think that's what it comes down to. For me, my personal choice, I did do it one time, and it made me feel icky. So never did it before or since, and don't plan on leaking things that I get sent to me privately ever again. That's not cool, in my opinion. Let's see, what else? And then for the second one, I don't think that it's copying, and I followed that account because it's super awesome. The bunny one. What is it? Doodles by the Bunny. I followed that account because she's amazing. She's incredible. So worst case, it brought some attention to her channel. We wouldn't be talking about it. And I think she does an amazing job. But I don't think that you can claim copyright on something that you actually took from somebody else. And then claim copyright on an actual partnership of that brand that you took the thing from. I don't think that's a thing. So... Well, we ended this way earlier than I expected it to. We're only 22 minutes in. We have a lot of time, so hopefully y'all have other things to talk about. But before we do that, I want to tell you what's on my face today so that we can, I can talk about how much difficulty I had with everything. So on my eyes today, I really do think it was because I was rushing. I just washed all my brushes. I couldn't find the brushes that I wanted to use. This is a first impression. I honestly think that I am not judging this palette by this because there were too many factors here that I can't hold it against this, but I had a heck of a time. This is the Nudie 2 by Laura Lee Los Angeles. She just sent me this in PR, and the colors are gorgeous. I cannot wait to play with this more. I did have some trouble with patchiness of this shade Risque. I had to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but I really do think that I just wasn't using the right brushes, so I'm not holding it against it. I use blushing all over my lid. This is really fun. I was surprised that I could actually still see the glitter on my eyes because it's one of those, I know Tati called them a sequin shade, where the glitter kind of, a lot of times in these shades will disappear. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is a little bit of a sparkle left behind, which I thought was nice. In my inner corner, I put the shade Sheer. I also have these two on my lower lash line, but I want to play with the more foiled shades because Laura always nails her foiled shades. They're really beautiful. So this one looks like more of a topper. It's more of like a sheer coat of shine, like you can kind of see it on my finger there. And then, oh, I have a towel down here. This is the one that I'm supposed to be getting rid of because it needs to be put in the laundry, but. And then this one, let's do this one. This one is Nudie. That was Cheeky. Yeah, these look like they're more like a glossy kind of shine. They're not the foiled that Laura's done before. Oh wait, maybe this one is. This one is. I can feel it's different. This one is the shade Skimpy. Yeah, see the difference between the two? So this one's the more toppery kind of shade, and then this one is the more foiled shade. And I forgot, I watched Laura's launch video a long time ago, so I don't remember what she had said about the different shades and like what the different formulas are and everything. But I'm definitely gonna be playing with this more, and I love the color selection. The color selection is absolutely beautiful. It's very, very Laura. Speaking of that, on my lips, I did use Manny's Aura. We're going Manny and Laura today. It's what I had out. This is the gloss that I'm wearing, and I mixed it with my Refine shade. Sometimes I get Revive and Refine mixed up. Yeah, Refine. I have to look just to make sure. It was the last thing I did when I made the collab was I made the names. But Refine is what I have on my lips, topped with, did I call it right? Yeah, Aura from Lunar Beauty. And then on my cheeks today, I'm still playing with this. This is the Pure Barbie Malibu blush. They had sent me the whole thing in PR. Oh, this is purchased. And this was my collab with Ofra. So, but this whole collection was sent to me in PR. If you want to see more about it, watch Puts Up in Makeup today. It was my PR purchase of the day. And I used these shades kind of over here. I kind of mushed in there for for my blush today. So that is what is on my face today. The Violet December says she loves my nails, and are they stick-ons? Yes, they are the, Dashing Diva nails. I got a ton of them during their holiday sale. I got a bunch. So these were part of a holiday set. Okay, so let's see what y'all want to talk about. So I'm trying to think what else is happening in the community. I felt like it was kind of a slow week for interesting things. The Nikkie tutorials documentary, we could talk about that a bit. I really enjoyed it a lot. Again, we talked about it for like 5 minutes in What's Up in Makeup, so I kind of got most of my thoughts out there. But if you've seen it, I would love to know what you all thought of it. I thought it was really well produced. Like, it looked super pro. Like, I don't know who she had producing it. Like, I know that her best friend was really involved in it. Like, the talent, oh my gosh, incredible, incredible. And I really like just seeing the behind the scenes of what it's like to be Nikkie tutorials, because I'll never know. So it was kind of cool. AYS says, did you watch Laura Lee's declutter video? She talked candidly about brands like Morphe, Urban Decay, and Too Faced. I did not. I heard it was a great declutter though, and I heard that she kind of was like, I don't know about Morphe. But I did not watch it. I should watch it. I haven't watched a whole lot of YouTube recently. I've mostly been watching old movies. I binge watched the Twilight series. I watched The Princess Bride. Right now I'm in the middle of The Truman Show. Oh, Angela says, hi, I'm Doodles the Bunny. Thanks for sending people to my page. I don't think ColourPop stole my design, for the record. Thank you so much. Thank you. See, I don't know, because I didn't see your official word. So thank you for coming. I'm so honored that you're here and came over. That's cool. I'm glad that you came and cleared that up, because that is the rumors that you had said that you thought ColourPop had stole your design. So I'm glad you came and clarified that, because I did not see that with my own eyes. And I should have repeated that more times as I was talking about it. And I apologize if I didn't say it enough times. I think I said it in the very beginning, but I don't think I said it enough. So thank you so much for coming to clarify that. That is awesome that you came over to do that. Nikki says, I kind of quit watching everyone. It always felt like sales and ads. I cleaned up the channels I follow. I need unbiased, unsold information on how I spend my hard-earned money. Yeah, and I think that it's hard sometimes to know who's selling and who's genuinely loving the products. And I think one thing that's important to understand, and I think it really, going back to the Nikkie tutorials documentary, that I think she illustrated this pretty well. There's one point where she's standing outside and she's got this, like, almost like it looks like a table you would rent from a party store or something. Like, it's like a fold out table, and people just keep bringing her boxes and boxes and boxes of PR. And I think that there's a misconception out there from people that watch beauty videos that getting PR means that a person is going to be biased. And I think if you're not used to getting PR, and it's really, if you're not used to getting PR, it's very exciting to get the PR at first, and it feels almost, at least for me, it feels almost like you're slapping them in the face by saying something negative about their product. They were kind enough to send you a gift. And like when your grandma sends you a gift and you're like, oh, thanks, grandma, I appreciate it. Like, oh, grandma, like, thanks for the ugly sweater. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you kind of have to say thank you anyway, even if you don't like it. And I think that's ingrained into our culture. So I think when you first start getting PR, you kind of have that feeling like you have to say something positive. But what it comes down to is it's not a gift. PR is not a gift. It's not. PR is anything a brand sends an influencer isn't meant to be a gift. It's meant to be promotion. So it needs to be taken that way, in that when brands send out products to influencers, they need to understand who they're sending them to. And also the influencer needs to make sure that they're honest about what they're getting, because in the end, you're responsible for whatever words come out of your mouth, is what it comes down to. No matter what those words are, you know, you're responsible for them. And it really does get not so special when you get a lot of it. And Nikkie's standing there, going back to what I was saying about Nikkie, she's standing there and just boxes and boxes, and you can just tell she's just completely overwhelmed. And then you have people that come on and say, well, you got this in PR, so you must be biased. And it's like, no, not really. Like, I think that there's a disconnect there, because I think until you get like too much stuff and you don't know what to do with it, and it turns into more of like a, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do with all this clutter in my life? Until you have that like kind of feeling, it really, sometimes it's difficult to relate to that, is what I'm saying. So I think where it gets trickier is when there's more than just product. I feel like it's very, very easy for influencers to be unbiased just getting PR, especially if they get a lot of PR. But I feel like it gets trickier when it comes to paid promotions. So that's why this is what I do. This is what I do when it comes to paid promotions. Is a company will reach out to me. If it's something I know I'm not interested in, I just type them, no thank you, and send. And then I delete the email. And that happens 80% of the time. Another 10% of the time, well, I guess the other 20% of the time, I'll say, hey, this is really interesting. I'll send it over to John, my husband, and he'll work out negotiations for the sponsored video. But before I take any sponsorships, I will not, absolutely will not, refuse to accept any kind of sponsorship, sign any kind of contract before I try the product, before I experience whatever it is first. And then from there, then I will say yes or no. But I have to like it first. I have to make sure that it's worth it to my audience. Like, for example, with Vessies, the sneakers, freaking love my Vessies. They sent me the first pair, love them. They had their holiday sale. I bought 2 more pairs with my own dollars because I love them that much, you know? So I think that it's very easy for someone to take a sponsorship, like you were saying, Nikki, and have it be just an ad. It just depends on that influencer and whether they're vetting these brands for quality first, or whether it's just, you know, oh, that's like $4,000. I'm going to take that. Or that's like $10,000. I'm going to take it, you know, because some influencers do get paid that much just for a shout out or for a dedicated video. It's crazy, like how much money people can get paid just for one Instagram post. It's obnoxious. So if someone's saying, if you post this picture of this product, I will give you $10,000. Would you do it? Even if you don't like the product. It just depends on the individual influencer. So it leads to that gray area where you don't know if you can trust people or not. And I've seen this written in comments underneath of my videos and other videos where people say, well, really it comes down to it's on the individual person of what they purchase or not. You really can't blame the influencer. But at the same time, it's like if someone you trust raves about something and then you spend your money on it, I tend to blame the influencer, to be honest. I do, because they've built up that trust in me. Like I guess that's my fault. You know, if I've, you know, developed trust in somebody, I guess it's like when you end up in a bad relationship and you realize you can't trust that person anymore. But still, like, I don't know. I feel like we have an obligation as reviewers specifically to only be honest about things we're reviewing. Where it gets sticky is when you've got people that aren't reviewing and they're just posting things and they're not actually reviewing anything. I don't know. It gets sticky though. It gets sticky. Yeah, Nikki says getting paid to review a product that you love was understood. I would completely do that, but if I don't like it, I'm not gonna. Yes, absolutely. Then it makes it a lie. Yes, 100%. Totally agree. Totally agree. War Paint Beauty says, I like seeing promotions for things other than beauty things. Me too. Me too. And it takes out the complexities of things. When I talk about Vessi sneakers, which I'm not being paid to talk about right now, just so you know, I did one sponsorship for them and I haven't heard from, you know, talking about it since. But when I do a sneaker sponsorship, I don't have to worry about like people saying later on, you know, that I'm reviewing and being biased. Like if I get a sponsorship from, like for Ofra, for example, like there's always, I think, going to be a little bit of bias for me for Ofra. There's always going to be, if I get something from Ofra that I don't like, I'm not going to slam them. I'm not going to. Because there's always going to be bias because I did that collab with them and I love the people over there. And I'm not going to purposely take something from Ofra and put it in front of you and say, this is crap. I'm not going to tell you it's good, but I probably just won't share it at all. So it creates that bias there. So I'm actually really happy that I've moved away from beauty sponsorships and done more things like Bloomscape and Crowd Cow and Vessi and brands like that. It makes it a lot less complicated. And it's different in the beauty space. So, I don't know. I like it. Penelope says, you're so intellectual in your approach. I love it. It's just the way my brain thinks. I don't know. Well, thank you. Luna says 99% of influencers don't take the influence part seriously. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize, and I think that there's definitely been times when I haven't realized my influence, and said something or done something and then not realized, oh my gosh, now I've created this thing, So yeah, I think it's hard because we're just sitting, like I'm in my basement, and my table's a mess, like my kids are playing upstairs. It's hard to really wrap your brain around how many people are actually watching and listening and taking into heart what you're saying. Sometimes it's hard, but it's kind of our responsibility to do that. Yeah, Thriving and Beyond says, I only feel hinky about it when someone I really care about on YouTube states, this is my favorite, yet you never hear about the product again. And I think you get that feeling. Like, I think there are people I love this. It's the best thing ever, And then, like, what happened to it? I've seen that so many times. So many times. Sincerely LGS, go check out her YouTube channel. Her name's Lisa. Ofra says, Ofra can do no wrong, not with highlight blush bronzer, in my opinion. Oh yeah, they do an amazing job. It's very rare I get something from Ofra where I'm kind of like, I'm not sure about that. It's rare. But if they ever do send something, I'm just letting you know I'm probably not going to tell you. Because I will probably forever be biased in favor of Ofra. Because they're just such amazing people over there. And I love, I love their stuff even before I collab with them. Tessie says, for me, it would depend on the company sending the PR. If it's JStar, a controversial company, no thanks. Yeah, oh, totally. Like if a company doesn't align with your values, absolutely. Yeah, but Morphe's never reached out to me. Like never. They've never offered to send me anything, to be on PR, to give me a code, like never. And I think it's because I've always been honest about my feelings about Morphe since the very beginning, back, in the 35O days. I've never really liked Morphe a whole lot, except for that Jaclyn Hill palette, the original one. Darky Doom, are you planning any more deep dives into your product reviews, or was that something that was scrapped? Yes, I am planning more deep dives. When was the last one that I did? I did the Pharrell Williams wasn't quite as deep. I think what happens is this is the problem with the deep dives, is that I get all the comments from the people that love them, but I also get equal number of comments of people telling me that they're excessive. So it's a judgment call, and they take a lot of time and a lot of energy, and I get a lot of people telling me that they're like the Fashion Nova. Well, Fashion Nova, I didn't go as deep. So I guess I really haven't been going as deep recently. The last one that I did, even the Raw Beauty Christie one, I don't think was as deep. Let's see, when was the last time I did one? Yeah, you're right. I really haven't done. The Mario was that was 52 minutes long. I mean, they're like movie length. I think that I just need to figure out, when it comes to the deep dives in my reviews, I need to figure out what's important and what's not. And one thing I realized that's not as important is going so deep into the ingredients. I've gone through phases of like real super in-depth with 6 or 7 ingredients per product, and I just feel like that's excessive. I feel like that's not really necessary. And that's where it's a judgment call is what it comes down to, because do we really need, how long was that video, the Mario video? It was 52 minutes long. I mean, that's really long. It's really long. So I feel like a 30-minute video where I don't go quite as deep, I don't know. I would love to know thoughts in the comments, in the collective brain, like what you all think. But the thing is like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to make those judgment calls, because in YouTube, you're your own production manager. You're your own, You're your own producer, you're your own director, you're your own editor, you're your own everything. So it's all up to you to make those choices. And I can't necessarily trust Twitter polls because like my ride or die, like my like yes people aren't the majority of my audience. So it's like, it's hard. It's hard. Mel says, will you do another Why People Watch? Maybe Jamie French. I would love to do more Why People Watch. I got a little like, okay, so maybe this is my ADD brain, but I got a little tired of the format. It was exhausting looking through and I have to really like the person. So Jamie French would actually be a really good person to do that with. Excuse me, because I really, really have to like the person to do another Why People Watch because it's a lot of videos. I spend like 2 or 3 days, like I'm talking like 6 hours a day for like 2 days just watching that person's face. So I have to love them. Yeah, Carol says, I would guess the other part is how much time do they take? Is it old news by the time it comes out? Yes, that's the other thing is however, you know, how much time I spend testing something, by the time I actually get the video up, does anybody care anymore? You know, especially if I don't get it in PR, because if I get it in PR, usually I'll get it ahead of time and then I can get a head start on everything. So then I get my stuff out, you know, when everybody gets their purchase stuff and is doing their first impressions, I have my deep dive ready. But if I don't get it in PR, then I'm waiting. Like I really wanted to do the Lunar Beauty stuff. I wanted to do all of that for the Lunar Beauty holiday collection, but I'm not on PR and the mail was slow. So I didn't get it until late. So I didn't end up doing that, but I would have done the Lunar Beauty holiday collection. But it was too slow. By the time I would have gotten the chance to test everything and do it would have been, you know, 3 weeks at least after the launch. And that's too late, unfortunately. It's kind of sad, but you know, is what it is. And I'm gonna be honest, like if I had a brand, I'm not sure if I would send me PR because if I give it a negative review, that's gonna lower sales. Like it's probably better not to send it to me, to be honest. At launch, it's probably better not to send it because I think that there was a little bit of buffering a second ago, a little bit of, so there may be a cut a minute ago. I just saw a little bit of buffering. So if you saw that, that was the YouTube loading thing. Anyway, it's probably better to send it to me in the second round so you can get the first round of things out with all the positive reviews and then send it to me. But at the same time, like I was reading somewhere, someone had said that it's better to get a B- from a teacher that you, in a class that you worked really, really hard. It's better to get a B- that you worked your butt off for than to get an A from something teacher that just gives them out. You know, and I thought that really resonated with me, you know, actually being a former teacher and everything, it really resonated with me. I was like, that's kind of true. And the more I've looked into like influencer marketing, I've been doing a little bit of research on like the other side of influencer marketing and like the brand side of it. And they say that it's better to send out products and do sponsorships with people that'll be more honest, that'll say the negatives and the positive than it is to send it to someone that is completely glowing. Because they're just seen as more trusted reviews. But I don't know. I think I would be scared to send me stuff, to be honest. I would be. I don't know if I was a brand owner if I would send it to myself. Julia says someone contact Manny now. It's okay. If I could only get on that PR list. Do you remember when Manny said that? It was cute. I like to bring that up when it's specifically Lunar Beauty. Because I remember him saying that. Okay, Steph says it froze refresh. Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, Michelle says better to get a B-, not for your GPA. That's true. See, that's a good point, Michelle. That's a good point. Yeah, you know, you're right. Because in the end, it's like if there's only rave reviews about the product, then, but then you're going to get like the Sephora reviews or whatever, and they're going to be like lukewarm. But are people going to read the Sephora reviews or whatever reviews, brand, you know, on the website? I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting analogy. It's very interesting. Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what happened with the stream for a minute. Cassandra X says, got into grad school when interview saw I got an A from a professor who swore he would never give them an A. Yeah, so yeah, when you have that background knowledge. So I guess if people like know like how hard I am on products and I give something a positive review, it's more likely to be taken seriously, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I was a tough teacher too. I have to say, I definitely was. I didn't give out grades, like ever. And when I taught like they were called advanced academics class, they were not happy with me because they were not happy with not getting just easy A's. Like, sorry, you have to work. Holly says, do more people watch your live video than that are subscribed? No. I have almost 300,000 subscribers. That would be amazing if 300,000 people watched my lives. That would be incredible. No, no, that'd be fun though. Maybe one day. You know, I don't have a single video that has over 1 million views. I have 2 that are close, but I don't have any videos over 1 million views, unlike a lot of my peers. Maybe one day, but I try not to focus on that. You know, I try to, like lately especially, I've gotten better at just trying to focus on just creating things that I like. And live chat is just so fun, just hanging out with you all. So, Aaron says, 930 views and only 250 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button. Aw, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Mon says, that's because you're not problematic enough for Morphe Jen. Maybe. Well, I think that they really focus on Instagram a lot. And I'm not really on Instagram. I don't really like Instagram very much. I'm really only on Instagram because I kind of have to be on Instagram because of, you know, what I do for a job. But they mostly focus on like artists. Same thing with ABH. They focus a lot on artists, a lot on smaller influencers, a lot on people that are just starting to grow that aren't used to getting a lot of PR. So, and I never really was, I never once did I say in my heart, if I could only get on that Morphe PR list, like never once. Never. Never. Oh, Saucer Jess, which ones are close when we watch them? Does it count? It does, but I don't want to push it over just for arbitrarily. It would be cool if it like happened naturally and organically. They're like the old Kat Von D videos, the Kat Von D eyeliner video where I destroyed Kat Von D eyeliners. That one's the closest, but don't feel like, please don't go over and just watch it multiple times. I don't want to do it artificially. I'd rather it be legit, but thank you, Jess. That's really nice of you. Yeah, Nikita says, bees get degrees, so it should sell makeup too, right? I think so. I think so. And plus, you know, just because like, okay, so like for example, the Pure Barbie highlighter, oh, I forgot to mention I used this today. Okay, so the formula on this is like creamy, buttery amazingness. But I do feel like for my skin tone, it's a little dark. I feel like like, 'cause I don't want my highlight to show up as color on my skin. I want it to blend into whatever my product is. So like a lighter champagne, a lighter pink, like things like that are what look good on me. So if you look and see like how deep they are contrasting with my skin tone, I feel like this would look better on somebody else that's not me. So that's a critique of it, but at the same time, that's a plus for a lot of people. You know, like just because it's not perfect for me, that doesn't mean it's not going to be perfect for somebody else. You know, it's a creamy formula. The other critique is that just I don't want to destroy the print in it because it's so pretty. But yeah, it's like this creamy metallic formula. It's like, oh, it's so nice. So nice. So nice. So yeah, I agree, Nikita. Bees get degrees, but then like your overall GPA goes down. So I guess it's what you believe to be the important, you know? Is it important to work hard and learn a lot and get B's, or is it important to not work hard and get A's? I know in high school, I was all about the not working hard and getting A's. I took as easy of classes as possible. So I get that. But, you know, I think it's better in the long term to work hard and learn a lot and create something amazing, you know, to build yourself amazingly, to create products that are amazing, that may get, you know, that have to work hard to get that A, rather than people just giving the A's away and then people get it and it's like, damn, this is a D. Like, what the hell? You know, and then you don't trust the brand anymore. You know, that's what happened with me for Pure. When I got that crappy Pure BoxyCharm palette and it was just junk. It was junk. And I was anti-Pure for the longest time because of that. And then the Pure Raw Beauty Christie palette came out and I was like, oh, so this is what they can do. Oh, and then they sent over their, was it a 4-in-1 foundation? Loved that too. I was like, oh, okay. So I think that when you create in makeup, when you create consistently good quality products, then people end up trusting you as a brand and they're more likely to invest in more products from that brand. But once you betray that trust and come out with something crap, like it's hard to get those people back. And if if they hadn't collabed with Christy, if they hadn't sent me PR, I would still hate Pure. To be honest, I would, because of that stupid BoxyCharm palette that was junk, So, you get your things in your head about a brand and it's like, ugh. It's like when you watch a movie from a specific director or a television show that has a certain actor or whatever, and you get this like bias in your head about, oh, I don't like that person, or I don't like that director, or I don't like, whatever. You're not going to watch more from that person. So that's why I think it's really important that brands stop focusing so much on packaging and pumping products out and slow down a little bit, create really good products that people can invest their money in and feel good about, and that'll create that brand loyalty and they're more likely to come back and get more. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah, Mandy says, I find myself trusting people who actually put some science into their reviews. Don't just say it worked. I need comparison and details. Tell me what it does better and why. Yes. And I think there's been a lot of people that have brought it to that next level of making sure to not just say, oh my gosh, I love this highlighter. It's just so pretty. Look at the packaging. Look at the colors. I love it. It's just, I can't even get it open. It's so pretty. Like we're past that now. I think we're past that now. And especially when it comes to skincare reviews. The problem with skincare reviews that makes it difficult, especially when it comes to like my reviews, is the big thing that I'm reviewing is anti-aging. And anti-aging really isn't something that you can measure very well. It's very difficult. It takes a very long time, and you have to only test like one product in order to know whether it's doing anything. Like you can't even test more than one product at a time when it comes down to it. Like because one might influence another one. So you've got 4 months at least where you're only testing one product to see if it's doing anything. And even then, sometimes it takes a year or more for like a retinol product to do anything. So it's very difficult. So we have to rely on ingredients. We have to rely on the science. We have to rely on what we already know about the things that are put into products. And there was actually a period of time, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, feels like it was forever ago, but it was like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, where a bunch of skincare influencers put out videos. I don't know if they all coordinated this with each other or whatever, like slamming ingredient lists and saying basically that, relying on ingredient lists is not okay. And I personally don't agree with that. I thought about making a whole video on it, but I didn't want to start crap with anybody. But my general thought about, digging into ingredients is that I feel like it's important to look at ingredient list for multiple reasons. First, I think it's important because you can see if there's allergies and anything you're allergic to in there, of course. Second, you can see whether there are ingredients in there that may do the things that the thing claims. So if it says anti-aging and all it is glycerin, and other humectants that pull water into the skin, yeah, it's going to plump your skin temporarily, but you're not going to have any long-term anti-aging effects unless you have something in there, ceramides, retinol, peptides, something else that at least claims to have anti-aging properties. So I feel like it's good to look at an ingredient list to kind of see what is in this. What kind of texture might it have? It have its silicones in it, then it's more likely to fill pores. If you're talking about a primer, things like that. But does an ingredient list tell you everything? Absolutely not. I think they made really good points in their video about, the sourcing of ingredients. I've talked about this before, like how an ingredient is grown, where it's grown, how it's harvested. Like all of that actually can make a difference. The concentrations, how the ingredients interact with each other. Like an ingredient list isn't going to tell you everything, but it's a clue. It's a hint. It's more than we can tell by just using the product on just me for like anti-aging purposes. You know what I mean? So like when we're talking about like hydration, we're talking about acne, you're going to be able to see faster results because you're going to be able to see, is my skin hydrated? Yes, no. Did my acne, go away? Yes, no. Is my scarring less prominent? Yes, no. Is my hyperpigmentation less prominent? Yes, no. Like those are easier to see over a short period of time, but I think anti-aging is the trickiest one. That's just my opinion. I'm just gabbing all over the place. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. Let me go back over here. Michelle says skincare, especially anti-aging, is so hard to test drive. There are so many variables and factors that go into efficacy. Also, the knowledge and accuracy of the viewer. Oh, totally, totally. And like, I have come so far in like my knowledge of what is good skincare and what is not. Like, I used to use EWG as a source. I did. Back when I first started looking at ingredients, this was maybe 3 years ago, I used EWG as, you know, this is a harmful ingredient or not, which if you're not familiar, apps like Think Dirty, Environmental Working Group, they will use data and information from studies that are not the way that things are used in skincare. So like, let's say I have a chemical that I'm testing or whatever, and I use it on a rat, and I put the rat in UV light, and I leave them in the light for 48 hours, and I see lesions on the rat. I put the ingredient on 100% concentration on a rat, and I put them in UV light for 48 hours. That's not a study I can use in order to say whether that causes skin sensitivity in humans in a cosmetic product. Like, you can't use that. That's not realistic. Doesn't make any sense. That's like comparing, you know, somebody chugging a whole, you know, gallon of water and saying that's the same as somebody drinking a glass of water. You just can't. You can't compare that. So that's what EWG and Think Dirty and those kinds of apps tend to do sometimes. Sometimes they use like legit sources and things that are applicable to human skincare, but not always. Like now they're even saying, like, all the studies that they did on coral reefs and sunscreens, that the sunscreens may not have nearly the impact on coral reefs, on the bleaching of coral reefs, that they thought. That it's more global warming and the warming of the water that's causing the bleaching, and less the chemicals going into the water, which I thought was really interesting. Oh, hi, Rich. Rich says, because of you, I had no idea what the red bug stuff was until you and talc were the first ingredient is alcohol. Ingredient list is important. I agree with you. Well, thank you. Yeah, the carmine is what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, thanks, Rich. I appreciate that. No pause. McNeil says, I hate how reviews are expected to be done ASAP when reviewing products for these companies like Topbox, Chick Advisor, even Ipsy. I like to try something for at least 4 weeks, not 10 days. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but that's when people will watch it. Like, can you imagine? Well, you know what I used to do when I got Ipsy and I did that is what did I do? It's been so long. Either I did it or somebody else did it. This is how bad my memory is. I can't remember. Where you do like the review. Yeah, I think I did do that. It's been years. Okay, my friend, it's been years. Where you do the current month and you talk about what's in your current month and you review the previous month's stuff. I'm pretty sure I did that. I would just hate to come back and be like, nah, Jen, that wasn't you. You that was somebody else. But I think I did. LaShawn says, I work at a large cosmetic company, and I genuinely love your content. Well, thank you, LaShawn. That means a lot to me. Like that, those kinds of comments, when it's a chemist, when it's a dermatologist, when it's a biologist, when it is, you know, someone that works for a cosmetic company, that means so much to me. When people that are pros, like more than I am, and they think I'm doing a good job, it's like, yay. Like, honestly, like that's really where I get my highs, you know, when you get the endorphin rushes, is when somebody that I feel that I respect likes what I do. Like, it just, that makes me feel really happy. Betsy, my best skincare prevents any change in my skin. My best skincare prevents any change in my skin, which anti-aging is. That is only seen long-term. Absolutely. And the problem too with anti-aging skincare, Betsy, and everybody else, is that you don't know like what would have happened if you didn't use it. Like, it's like when something's preventative, like, how do you know? How do you know? I don't know how you know. You can't. You don't know. Julie says, videos that I like that I don't think it made enough, made because of views, but I really like follow-up videos. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to find that balance between have I tried it enough to give a review versus this is going to be late if I don't get this up now. Like, it's hard finding that balance. It really is. It's difficult. Thank you so much to Gita for the, or is it Gita or Gita? I'm going to say Gita. Thank you for joining the collective brain, Alina. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, it's really hard finding that balance. And I feel like, honestly, like when I'm trying something, this is kind of my mindset, is that, okay, so let's say I'm trying this Laura palette, okay? I would never film a review for this tomorrow. I'm not ready. Like, I'm probably not going to do a full review on it because it came out a while ago. But once I try it and I feel like, okay, this is the fourth time I've used it, and it's doing the same thing that it did the third time I used it. I feel like I'm ready, you know, or this is the sixth time I've used it, and I feel like I understand how these work now. Like, I feel like that's when I feel like I'm ready to review it. Until I get that feeling, like I've tried it enough that it's doing the same thing more than once, then I'm good. Then I'm good. John, my husband, he typed, who remembers the Birchbox Smackdown videos? I kind of miss doing those every month. Yeah, my husband and I used to do the, where we would compare our Birchboxes and see which one was better, the men's box or the women's box. That was what they were called, was the men's box and the women's box. And they were fun. He's so funny though. Like, he made those videos. I give him all the credit because he's hilarious. And Jess says, isn't that why they do clinical studies? That's why ingredient lists are important. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and the thing too is that the ingredients that are used in cosmetics, the vast majority of them have been used in cosmetics for so many years. Like, people kind of know what they do at this point, you know? Like, the research out there, you kind of know what the purpose is of a lot of these. It's when you get into these newer extracts and things like that, where people are taking some random flower out of South America, you know, that only grows in this one region of South America, and they're like, oh, maybe we should put this in cosmetics. Like, those are the ones that people don't really know much about, that we need to do more studies on. But like, things that have been used for 20, 30, 40 years, it's like, you know, we kind of know what they do at this point. Justin says, hey, Jem, what's your view on K-beauty products that say brightening but are actually bleaching your skin? I think that it's scary for people, because I think that it's important for people to know what a product actually does. Like, for me, if I get a product that lightens my skin, it's not going to do a whole lot. But if someone of a deeper skin tone gets that, it's going to make a huge difference, and it's very bad. So honestly, like, I personally look very carefully at anything that says skin brightening, and this is what I do. I don't know if this is like scientifically proven or whatever, but this is my unprofessional opinion, is that I look and see where the skin brightening ingredients fall on the ingredient list. Like, things like niacinamide. I felt like my foundation was kind of caked up around my nose. That's why I did that. I feel like things like niacinamide can give a skin whitening effect if they're so high up on the ingredient list. So when I see niacinamide, I want to see it a little bit lower down. I don't want to see it really high up. And then there's other things, was it hydroquinone and things like that? I pretty much stay away from hydroquinone just because I have like that negative association with it in my brain, even though I know it can be used in a good way. So I don't know. I think people just need to be really careful with it, especially if you have medium to deeper skin. I think people need to be really careful when any product says brightening. We did talk about it. This might be where you got it from, Justin. I'm not sure, but we did talk about it a little bit in What's Up in Makeup for 2 different weeks, where it kind of went both ways, where there was a company, I'm trying to remember the exact story, but it was basically like false advertising, that they were marketing the whitening products as brightening products when people might not want whitening products, and then flipped over in China, I believe it was, where they were marketing things as whitening products when they were actually brightening products. So I just think there needs to be more transparency, in my opinion. But if you missed those stories, then you missed What's Up in Makeup, and you should go watch them because they're good. Today's What's Up in Makeup is really good. I'm really proud of it. If you haven't watched it yet, it's good. It's long, but it's long because there's a lot of commentary in there about a lot of things, and it's very, I found today's episode fabulous and fascinating, like the stories in there. So if you haven't watched it, highly recommend. Tessie says, I don't mind reviews of products that have been out for a while because I'm pretty new to a lot of these brands and I like spending my money on sure things. Yeah, absolutely, Tessie, and you are not alone. There are a lot of people. I guess it just depends on the priority of the person who's making the videos. You know, is growth the priority? Is maintaining an audience a priority? Is, you know, it's a difficult thing to manage all the aspects of what it is to be on Instagram and YouTube. It's a lot that I don't think is talked about enough for people to have the perspective on all of the things that need to be juggled in order to do this as a job. If you're doing it as a hobby, you know, there isn't as much pressure, but if this is your job, you know, it's a little harder. Oh my gosh, we are way over. I did not realize we were 5 minutes over. I'm so sorry for keeping you this long. I gotta go. Thank you so much for being here. I literally just looked up. I was like, oh, we're probably like 45, 50 minutes in. Nope, we're almost 6 minutes over. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna let you go. Have a wonderful week. Happy 2021. I hope it is a fabulous year for you. I hope that we're all just, at this point, I said this in What's Up Makeup, I hope at this time next year we're all like, yeah, 2021 was a good year. Like, we needed that. Like, that's where I hope we are. And thank you so much to Rebread? Rebread. I'm going to say Rebread for joining the Collective Brand Elite. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here in live chat. If you haven't already and you'd like to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed chat, please do. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. We'll be back next Sunday for another live chat at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll keep you posted when the next interview is. Don't have any scheduled, but I'll keep you posted. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!